let's get it done. Well, it's been a while since we've seen this little weapon. I think it's time we actually get this finished. What's left on the cubman's to-do list is it needs guards, the bonnet needs paint, and I'm going to make a new seat because this one's kind of excessive out the back that doesn't get used. And as part of the seat, I've decided we're going to put a roll loop. Now this is a little bit tall, but when you bend things you want to leave a little bit extra on them to start with, just in case. Now this will have a crossbar through it, and that will give a spot for the back of my head to rest. It'll be padded, and then it'll have a couple of little sidebars that come down to here, and well, that'll make it a little stronger. It's going to look a little odd, but should be pretty good, I think. Now, what else needs to happen? I'm going to have to pull the motor and see if I can get a stator with more than one coil on it. This has got a single coil stator, and that's not really working for the charging system because I've got the fuel pump running. And once I get it finished and have all the lights and everything else, well, it's got no chance. So at the moment with just the fuel pump it'll run once. I might be able to get it to start a second time, but usually that's about it. So, hoop, seat, guards, and paint. Pretty sure that's all that was left on there. So, got to work out how much I need to shorten this by, and then go on from there. Should be fun. Alright, I've got some measurements. That's 100mm shorter now at the bottom, so it's the right height. Now what I want to do first is put a bar in through the middle here. This should do. And well, the bender has put a kink in each side, so I'm going to put a crossbar in. So what you want to do is put one long bar in one direction, something like this, and that will cover up that dent. Now the one on the other side, it's got to be done in two small pieces, so well, these should do. Something like that. That all looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, go around with the Scotch-Brite wheel and clean all the intersections so that we can TIG it together, and then we'll go on to the next step of fitting it to the vehicle. Now there will be a sidebar on each side to give it some stability, and well, we'll get this bit done first. The gaps aren't all perfect, but I'll get them done. So I'll weld this out, and then we'll move on to making some mounting plates. That all looks pretty good. Now the sides did bend in here a little bit, that was expected, but that's easy enough to straighten out now. It's because there was a weld on between these two pipes, and when it shrinks it pulls in, and there's nothing holding these apart. If I'd have tacked these apart with another bar, that wouldn't have bent at all. Next step, some mounting brackets, and the last two pieces that come off the sides here and down. It's looking pretty good, I think. Alright, so I've got these two brackets, they're clamped parallel to the edge of the bench, and the holes are at the right spacings for the chassis. So then I can just take the frame, sit it on top, I'll weld on this side, and then I'll lean it over to where I want it, and then I'll weld the other side. And then once it's all welded and cooled down, then I can unclamp it off the bench, and we should be able to just bolt it on. So, let's give it a go. Alright, just gotta let that cool down, and then once it's cool it can actually go onto the cubman. And then we'll work out the size of these sidebars, which is what these other plates go to. cooling time. So I've got all that mounted on. I've got the front plates mounted in, and I've made these two bars to fit in there. Now I've done a bit of backwards and forwards test fitting and then also sitting in it and make sure they don't get in the way. That should work. The original plan was to have the bar curving out and down, but the bender didn't want to do the bend, so this is what we've got. I'll tuck them in place at the top, then at the bottom. So I'll probably put 3 or 4 tacks at the bottom, cooling it with the compressed air so that it doesn't burn my paint. Now, once it's tacked at the bottom, it's going to get nearly fully welded at the top, and then I'll take it off, weld the bottom and whatever I couldn't get underneath. So, that's the next step. One for each side, and away we go.
Invincible.
Alright, so I've radiused all the corners on the bottom, cleaned up all the plates, everything fits on, bolted up nice and tight. Now, there's going to be an extra little bracket or something on each side here for the headrest to bolt to, so it's not getting painted just yet. I've also put in a little spud up the top here, just a piece of pipe, which is fully welded top and bottom. Now, that's a camera mount, so yeah, should be able to get some good footage. So anyway, next is the seat now. So it'll basically come from just here down with a little kick up at the bottom. It will follow the line of the bodywork all the way around, and a headrest piece up here, and that's about it. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It wasn't part of the original design, so it's not actually on the to-do list, but there's plenty of other stuff is. So, that's it for this video. As always, customize everything.